Not only is the sports world filled with amazing athletic talents, high-flying personalities, and ruthless competitors, but it's also filled with competitions that will leave you at the edge of your seat. Rivalries have always excited us and sent fans into a frenzy. They never stop being the hot topic during conversations. Keep watching this video to find out about the greatest rivalries in the sports world. First off, at number 10, the legendary Dodgers and Giants feud. Now, their mutual dislike of each other began way back in the late 19th century when both clubs were based in New York City. The Los Angeles Dodgers and San Francisco Giants have been the National League's rivals since their days as the Brooklyn Dodgers and New York Giants. When Dodgers owner Walter O'Malley shifted his team to California, he convinced Giants owner Horace Stoneham to do the same just to keep their competition alive. The teams have almost always been nearly evenly matched in the 2,559 games in 132 years that their feud has gone on. The Dodgers hold a small 1,274 to 1,263 to 14 lead so far. The teams are the two most successful NL franchises, with the Dodgers holding the record with 24 pennants and the Giants close behind with 23. And many Big Apple hearts were broken along the way. Recently, in the 2021 NLDS, the Dodgers defeated the Giants in a legendary 5-game series that reminded us all of how amazing the atmosphere is on the field when these two go head-to-head. Coming in at number 9, Iowa goes against Iowa State. When the University of Iowa and Iowa State University meet on the battlefield, we know it's going to be an iconic match every time. Both teams are well known for their grinding, visually brutal football, so the nickname El Clasico seems pretty fitting in hindsight. Iowa State won the most recent game 10-7, and we have to admit that this clash had us biting our nails in excitement. The Iowa Hawks and Iowa State Cyclones have met 69 times since 1894, with Iowa leading the series 46-23 all time. The winner of the game receives the Cy Hawk Trophy, which represents the school's mascots holding up a football on a cornfield as well as statewide bragging rights. Now, who would pass up that opportunity? Moving on to number 8, Auburn and Alabama are arch enemies. The Iron Bowl is a classic intrastate football rivalry game and the biggest regular season event of the college-level football calendar. The series is taken so seriously that it was halted from 1908 to 1948 because of a long-running disagreement over a referee and per diem pay per players. When the schools finally agreed to play again, the game had to be held in Birmingham, a neutral location with equal ticket distribution. In 1989, Auburn hosted Alabama for the first time and set a stadium attendance record. The most well-known meeting took place in 1972. Both teams came in with a single defeat. Alabama led 16-0 entering the fourth quarter, but Auburn scored on 2 blocked punts and won 17-16. Punt, Bama, punt became a catchphrase. The Alabama Crimson Tide has been college football's most dominant team for years. They have a record-breaking 18 national championship wins. They're currently at the peak of their career, having won 6 titles since hiring Nick Saban in 2009. Despite that, the Auburn Tigers, a famous team in its own right, have been the most consistent thorn in Alabama's side, pulling off major upsets in 2013, 2017, and 2019. Next up at number 7, the famous Canadian Clash. When the NHL had just 6 teams, everyone had to play against each other all the time, yet no matchup brought about as much hype as this one. French Canada clashed with English Canada, and it became a symbol of hockey and Canadian history. Visiting fans frequently drown out the locals in each arena, making it impossible to tell who's the home team, and even when both teams are terrible, players get pumped up for regular season games. This rivalry took off between 1944 and 1978. During those 34 years, the two teams met 15 times in the playoffs and 5 times in the Stanley Cup Finals, and their bloodthirsty battle set the tone for the future. They've met in Stanley Cup Finals 5 times, with Montreal winning in 1959 and 1960, and Toronto winning in 1945, 1951, and 1967. Coming up at number 6, Duke and UNC have a classic basketball rivalry. Duke University and the University of North Carolina are 2 of the college basketball's most successful and famous teams, and both colleges are located just 10 miles apart along Tobacco Road. There is a clear division between the two. Duke is a preppy private university, whereas UNC is the state's flagship public university. There's a long history of stars with Duke and UNC producing 73 and 72 NBA NBA players respectively and highly experienced principals. The fans are energetic, the teams are successful, and the games are almost always determined by the buzzer. This is what college basketball is all about. Moving on to number 5. The Lakers and Celtics go way back. The Boston Celtics and Los Angeles Lakers are the NBA's most successful franchises, each having won 17 titles and meeting in the finals a record 12 times. Although the competition was really heated in the 1960s and 1980s, the Celtics-Lakers rivalry still exists to a certain level today. Every time these two faced off, there was always an iconic moment or two. It is a rivalry that has stood the test of time, beginning with the Bob Cousy-led Celtics in 1959 to Kobe Bryant's Lakers winning it for Los Angeles in the 21st century. Up next at number 4, everyone's favorite game. When Ohio Stadium first opened in 1922, Michigan rained on its parade by winning 22-0. This feud was always heated in the beginning because both teams were longtime college football powers, but it got even more intense in 1969 when Bo Schembechler took over as Michigan coach and upset Woody Hayes' unbeaten number 1 Buckeyes. When they met, both teams were ranked in the top 4 teams in the next 6 years. Both teams were undefeated in 1970 and 1973. Every year from 1970 to 1975, Michigan entered without a loss. The Wolverines only won once. In 1993, Ohio State went 9-0-1, 11-0 in 1995, and 10-0 in 1996. Each time the Buckeyes were defeated. It makes sense that whenever these two meet, it's referred to as the game. Following up at number 3, the Pinstripes and the Sox. Those two teams bring insane levels of competitiveness to the sport. The Yankees and Red Sox have played 2,320 times since 1901. The Yankees hold a slim lead in the rivalry with a 1,257 to 1,049-14 record against the Red Sox. Aside from the natural dispute between the two cities since the American Revolution, the Yankees and Red Sox have plenty of reasons to despise one another. The Red Sox traded Babe Ruth to the Yankees in 1919, launching the Yankees into the most dominant team in MLB history, and the curse of the Bambino led the Red Sox to an 86-year title drought. However, it was the cultural impact that sparked this rivalry, as Boston was known for its thriving education, economy, and art, whereas New York was viewed as a poor, overcrowded city of sorts. After a thrilling run from 1901 to 1918, the Red Sox fell behind the successful Yankees, who now have 27 World Series rings. Coming in at number 2, the clash of two Spanish legends. This feud between Real Madrid and FC Barcelona, known as El Clásico, is definitely worthy of this name. On the field, Madrid and Barcelona have dominated La Liga, winning 61 titles between them in the league's 93-year history. Real Madrid has a slight advantage all-time with 35 wins to Barcelona's 26, but Barcelona has been more successful recently, winning 16 titles since 1990. Off the field, this is often called a clash between two different cultures. Real Madrid has long been associated with the Spanish monarchy, while FC Barcelona is a symbol of Catalan nationalism. They are possibly the most watched club football matchup in the world. Fans go crazy as Spain's two richest, largest, and most successful clubs compete for the next trophy. Finally, at number 1, the boxing world stars. While Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier fought together only 3 times, they were some of the best fights in boxing's entire history. Many fans think that their first fight in 1971 at Madison Square Garden is the most important boxing match ever. When they met for the 3rd time in 1975 in Thrilla in Manila, Ali verbally abused Frazier to such an extent in the months leading up to the fight that fans still got shocked when they hear it. However, Frazier waited for the moment when he could repay his chatty opponent with a good number of crunches. 3 fights, 41 rounds, and non-stop bloodshed. These two survived 3 murderous attempts by each other and had the greatest rivalry in history. Their matchup is one that we were all dying to watch, and the excitement for it never fades. Well, that's a wrap for this video, so what is your favorite sports rivalry? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.